Where do you see like the future of UFC and MMA fighting in terms of more vegan fighters? Have you been noticing an increase? Do you think more people will catch on to the healthy plant-based diet?
Yeah, I've been noticing an increase in it for the past 5 or 6 years. When I first went vegan, a lot of, like I said, like a lot of the fellow fighters and colleagues that I had were always really interested in it,
Right.
and a lot of people I knew would dabble in it for like the last few weeks before a fight. They would, and then, to them it was a big deal to do that,
Yeah.
and they usually always said they felt good, and it helped them lose weight quicker. I think that's usually due to the fact that people are gonna, for the most part, drop some water weight right away,
Definitely.
just as a shock to their system as soon as they stop eating all the meat products and
Yeah.
dairy products. But yeah, I watched more and more fighters adopt that lifestyle, and even some that weren't interested in ethics or anything like that
Hmm.
were just doing it for the health
Right.
benefits. That's increasing more and more, and you're seeing it more and more now. I mean, it was just me, and then Jake Shields was vegetarian, but he
Hmm.
ate a whole lot of whey protein and
Right. Right.
milk products or whatever, and now he's like much closer to being vegan. And Jon Fitch was always doing it for like a month before each of his fights, and now we have Akira Corassani, and we have the boxer Bradley. Like all these people are popping up, and I don't necessarily think that it has anything to do with fighting per se. I think it's just more and more people in general,
Yeah.
athletes and otherwise, are starting to adopt the diet and understand. I think it's just time to make that choice
Yeah,
for
man.
everybody. People have been doing dumb things for a
Yeah.
long time since the Industrial Revolution, as far as their diet goes, and it's time that someone takes responsibility for themselves, and that's
Definitely.
all that I'm doing, really. Yes, I mean, it's great for my health. I feel amazing, and if it wasn't good for my health, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But the main reason is because I'm in charge of what I buy. I'm in charge
Yeah.
of what I consume, and I'm not going to contribute to all that awful stuff out there. And I think that anyone that has a good head on their shoulders and feels responsible for what they do as a consumer is going to adopt that diet. So
Right.
as you see the sport exploding, the UFC and MMA in general getting bigger and bigger, then you're going to watch and see more and more people that
For
have this
sure.
lifestyle, just because it's starting to spread out to larger amounts of the population. And I'm really glad that all the endurance athletes have really taken the first foot forward. I think with this diet, ethically and just from a health standpoint, they're proving that you can absolutely do it. Now it's like, well, we got to have more and more representatives from the other types of sports now, and just watch it grow and build. And that's my whole thing is, don't force anything on anyone. Just lead by example, and if you lead by example, then people should start understanding, that it's the right way to go pretty soon, and you feel good about yourself at the end of the day. I don't like being a consumer, and you know what I mean. However, I am, and
Yeah.
so might as well be responsible. And
Exactly.
and the other part of your question, I think I see the sport just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I see that the way the UFC has promoted it. Yeah, it's going to have its ups and downs, but they're doing a great job in promoting the sport, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And the kids that are like 16 years old now that are doing the MMA stuff, it's ridiculous. I mean, the guys that are going to be world champions, like after I retire, those guys are scary. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
level of the sport is growing and growing, and it's
Right.
really still just in its infancy right now.
Yeah.
Like right now is like like the old school
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Dempsey era. Really. at this moment. So we're going to see more and more people get really good at it, and the competition level is just growing all the time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to look forward to being a fan of it, after I'm done, and just watching all these people and these great athletes. And yeah.
Right. And you are in Forks Over Knives, and like we have all these medical doctors, Dr. McDougall, Dr. Esselstyn, T. Colin Campbell, giving the evidence, the scientific evidence of how a plant-based diet, is good for the health of the people, the animals, the planet. So many people are going to catch up. I bet you those newcomers that are coming up to UFC, I wouldn't be surprised if many of them adopted the plant-based diet.
Yeah, I think it's it's really easy to be pessimistic in the world in these days, and there's so many negative things out there, and there's so many things that make anyone who follows the news or just follows what's going on in the world, it'll make them feel hopeless. However, I think there's just as many people that are ignorant to what's going on. There's just as many people that are open-minded and that are willing to learn and really want to make a change. And yeah, those three things. I mean, your own health, the well-being of other living things, like the ethical standpoint of it, the moral standpoint, and then the impact on the earth, on the on the climate, on everything. I mean, those three things are so important. So if you are one of these people who's like, oh well, I don't care about animals, or I don't care about the ozone layer or anything like that. Well, how about your own health? Pick one of the three, and if you get 2 out of the 3 or 3 out of the 3 that you care about, then you're good to go for sure. But just pick 1 out of the 3 because you can't go wrong. I mean, if all you care about is your health, well, guess what? This is the way to go because there's really no alternative. I mean, we're not hunter-gatherers anymore. We can't, we can't gather berries and eat vegetables during the summer, and then in the winter, kill a couple buffalo or something. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
We live in a world where everything is highly contaminated, and the food that we put in our bodies is just insane. I mean, I can't believe that people would look at a plant-based diet or like even a fruitarian diet, like a 100% fruit, being extreme or crazy. It's like, this is the stuff that we can eat. It grows. This is what we're supposed to eat.
What we actually evolved with.
And why they would view that as extreme, but think that taking like some plant like wheat, drying it out, grinding it up, mixing it with oils and fats and sugars and salt and eggs and and that is, and then sticking it on a shelf for months and months. That is not extreme. It's like, that's extreme. That's extremely bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and all the medical stuff that come afterwards. Yep. Yeah, man, for sure. That's good advice, though. Pick one topic out of the 3: people, the animals, planet, and just educate yourself in what you can. It's awesome advice. Good place to start.